Hello and welcome to day 23 of my Christmas Craft Extravaganza. Today I am sticking with my pink bow themes, although these are kind of purple, and I've made some little bow earrings. These are made out of polymer clay and they're really easy to make, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so it is definitely a purple coloured clay. This is actually just a mix of some scraps that I had, which actually turned out really pretty. And I'm going to add that white gold glitter to it in a minute to make it nice and sparkly and shimmery. I'm also going to be using these little ball pin wires today to put through them so that I can attach the findings. And because of that, I will be using some round nose pliers. I'll also use some side cutters too, which I forgot to show you. I've got my normal tools, my rolling pin, my flexi blade, and also my little scalpel knife as well. So one other thing that I'll be using is this needle. It's actually a really large, long sewing needle, but it's got that nice point on the end, so that is going to come in handy for shaping our bows. And I'm also going to be using some lined paper to make our strips of clay that we're going to need for today. So if you do have a polymer clay extruder, you can use that. Oh, and there's my findings that I'll be using too. Forgot about that. Yeah, if you've got an extruder, you can definitely use that to make your ribbon strips today, but I'm not going to be using my extruder. I'm going to cut them manually instead. Right, so let's just move all this to the side, and I just need to mix up this clay to make it nice and sparkly. So white gold glitter is my most favouriteest clay for the festive season because you can add it to any colour and it adds a really nice sparkle without changing the colour of your clay too much. So I'm just going to start on my tile by giving it a quick little roll to combine it, flatten it out a little bit, and then I'm just going to pop it through the pasta machine a few times just to continue to condition and also mix those colours through. So if you love making polymer clay earrings and you want to see some more tutorials, you've come to the right place because polymer clay is kind of my thing and I do lots of polymer clay earring tutorials on my channel. So this one is part of the Christmas Craft Extravaganza where I'm doing lots of other crafts as well, but come January I will be doing, well actually February because I'm taking a break through January, but once I'm back I'll be doing lots more polymer clay as well as some other crafting projects as well. Okay, so just as the final roll, I'm just going to adjust the machine to about a number 5 setting, just to make it a little bit thicker than what I've been putting it through. And it's looking really good actually, looking kind of shimmery. I don't think the camera's picking it up as well as what I can actually see it in real life, but you can definitely see all that glitter in there. I'm just going to go through sideways here just to stretch it out a little bit. And you can see that there are those lines on the side that have come through the pasta machine. If we just use an alcohol wipe and just give the clay a quick wipe over, we're able to remove those black lines. It also helps to remove the very top layer of the clay, which makes the glitter sparkle a lot more. So that is definitely a great little tip for when you're doing glittery clays. It just kind of removes that very fine layer. So I just noticed that the glitter looks that little bit more sparkly once you've given it a wipe over. I'm just going to grab my knife now and I'm just going to trim this down a little bit just to trim off all of the raggedy edges and make it more of a rectangular shape. All these scraps are just going to the side and they can be used afterwards. And then my little hack for doing the nice even strips of clay is to get that lined paper. Now, as I did mention earlier, if you've got an extruder with a attachment that makes the ribbon strips, you can definitely use that. I'm going to use the paper though because I like this thinner thickness better than the thickness that is within the extruder disc. And I'm just going to go 1.5 of these lines. I did some of these ribbons the other day and I only did them with the 1 line thickness and I think they were a little bit on the thin side. So we're just going to thicken it a little bit today for this tutorial. The clay keeps moving, so I need to just adjust it so that it's nicely up against the line so I can get those even pieces. And I'm just going to go through and cut as many strips out as I can. I will need, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I probably need about 5 or 4.5 pieces for each of the bows that we're doing. Once we've done cutting those, we want to make sure that we move them off of the paper. If I leave them on the paper, it will start to draw some of the oils out of the polymer clay, which will make the clay go a little bit brittle. So that's a great thing to do if your clay is really oily and soft and sticky, but this one is just perfect. So I don't want any of those oils to be drawn out, so I'll just move them straight off the paper. So I am just going to do one little thing before we jump on in and get our bows sorted. And that is, I'm just going to fold it in half gently without attaching it, just to check the size, because that will be the size of the side of our bow. So I just want to make sure that it's not too large before I go and join it at the end. If it was too large, I would need to trim it down, but I actually think that this should be just about perfect. So I'm just going to fold the bows, or fold the little ribbons in half and meet them at the end, and then I'm just going to secure them by pressing down just a little bit. Now the polymer clay will bond to itself. You don't need any adhesives with these. The raw clays adhere together just fine without needing any clay adhesives. And that's something that's quite important to remember for afterwards as well. Now I've gone and grabbed my pin here, my needle, and we're going to place it in the center here and just fold up those edges until they meet. Now I'm just doing it really gently because we don't want to damage those ribbons. And then I'm just giving it a bit of a press just to make sure that it's all joined together and has formed the shape that I want it to. And then just simply sliding it off that needle, it comes off relatively easy. And then I'm going to do the same with this one as well. So I don't want to go too high up, but probably just about the amount that I sealed down on the bottom before. This is going to give our ribbon that tied look. And then I'm just going to make the two bits meet in the middle together. So now we have the sides of our bow, and we need to join it together. So with one of those ribbons that I cut before, we're going to use about half of it just to fold over and secure these two pieces together. So just going to wrap it around like so. And then cut off that excess. Right, so that's the first part of the bow formed. And now I'm just going to insert that little ball pin that I showed you earlier, and this is going to be for us to attach our findings afterwards. Now this does have a little ball on the end. You could use a flat pin if you would prefer. You could also use the little eye loop, screw eyes, that's the word I'm thinking of. You could also use a screw eye, but I prefer these because it's a little bit more stable, and I don't mind that little silver dot being visible either. Now I'm just moving on to doing the tails of the bow, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the center of the bow. And I'm just going to fold the piece of ribbon in half at one end. And then I'm just going to do the same with the second piece as well. Like that. And then I'm just going to join these two together by just putting the top two bits together and giving a little bit of pressure, and also just flattening a little bit as well. This way the bow can sit on top like that. And again, just giving a little bit of a press, just flattening it a little bit so that it all sticks together. Then the last thing that we need to do is just cut the tails of our ribbons. So if it was too long, you can cut it shorter, and I like to just cut a nice little pointed piece at the end. All right, that was nice and easy. And so I'll be able to pop this in the oven with that wire in and all. That's totally fine. We'll pop it in the oven and get it all cured up. But before I do that, I obviously need to make a second one. So I'm just going to show you this one in the fast speed, just so you can see me do the second one. Right, so I've popped them on the baking tray with some others that I've made here, and those little pink ones there have the findings already attached because of the type of attachment that I used. So I just find it easier to do whilst it's raw. Right, in the oven to bake for an hour. And with the magic of editing, it is all done. They are ready for me to assemble. So I'm just going to grab my findings here. So I'm just going to use these little circles. They're nice and plain, and they're not going to be distracting from the bow, because the bow is obviously the main part of the earring. So I didn't want to put anything too fancy on the top. So I've got my little cutters here, and I'm going to cut the wire about 1 centimetre up from the bow. And then I'm going to use my round nose pliers to make the loop on top. And because I don't want to use an extra jump ring, I'm just going to add the finding, that earring piece on top before I close that loop. Right, there we go. Number one is done. And I'll just do the same for the second one as well. So thank you so much for joining me for today's tutorial. Here's me modeling them. They look really good. They're a good size actually. I quite like the sizing of them. Thanks for joining me. I will be back tomorrow with the last craft for our series of the Christmas Craft Extravaganza. So I will hopefully see you then. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.